8. Day 1 and 5 stages. Special Stage 1, 27 kilometres long and aptly named Amazing. Special Stage 2, the 11 kilometres Cape Ad stage. Stage 3, a tough 15 kilometres. Subaru and Impreza, the two super special stages back at Killarney, wind up the day. Special Stage 1 and Enzo Kuhn and Martin Buerta are first away and hoping for a better result than the last one, when the engine of their Sasol dual-fuel Volkswagen Golf expired on Stage 4. But within minutes, the team are using a different mode of transport. Their race is run as they suffer another engine failure 5 kilometres into the stage. It's the penultimate round of the South African National Rally Championship, and for current log leaders Hubbing and Judd, the title's almost there.
At this stage, we've still got the championship in the back of our minds, but our mindset on the start of every event, flat out, win the event, and as the event progresses, we'll obviously just see what tactics we need to apply.
Obviously this rally a lot different to the last one. 1 second finish, very dry roads. Now we're looking at a complete opposite.
Yeah, I believe they've had quite a bit of rain. So, you know, water plays a big part in these stages. And I think if we can get a clean run with no splutters and no stops, it'll be okay.
Those last words almost prophetic as we watch the current champion Serge Damso and navigator Guy Hodgson. With no hope of retaining his title, the Castrol Toyota team are out to ensure that the Manufacturers' Championship won't be going to the Eastern Cape. The sensation of the season has got to be the Subaru Impreza of Johnny Gemmell and Gideon Trollope. In their first season of national running, they finished 5 out of 6 events and 3 of these on the podium. And it looks like another one could be on the cards as Gemmell wins the stage by 15 seconds from Damso, with Habig a further 7 seconds back. Schalk Burger and Pete Swanepoel in their Subaru Impreza WRX on one of their rare appearances on the local scene as the newly crowned All-Africa champions.
Yeah, it was quite an experience travelling up north in Africa. To get there was a bit difficult, and we're very happy with the result for us and the team and the sponsors. I think it was an excellent year for us. 4 wins out of 5 rallies, which we're very happy with. Well, it is a Group N car, N4, which is 2-litre turbo, 4-wheel drive. You can't really do much to the engine. The engine is restricted with the turbo to a 32mm restrictor, so it's not even an open turbo, which brings it down on horsepower. For the rest of the car, the suspension, it's open. You can change the shock absorbers. The gearbox, we've got the latest crash gearbox in it. And then the high torque engine. But for the rest of the car, it's a standard car. And the car has now done 2 seasons. And it's absolutely phenomenal how strong this car is. The only thing that disadvantage on these cars is when it comes to deep water. I had experience last year up in Kenya. They don't like deep water. But if your approach is fast, then it goes through the water. So we should have an advantage on the other cars. But again, you must get to the end of the rally to get the results.
And that end came for Berger on Special Stage 1 when the front differential cried enough. Early problems for Jürgen Fecken and Dave Lukowitz as their Sasol dual-fuel Volkswagen Polo player suffers a lack of drive. Rapidly catching the ailing Polo is the Team Total Corolla of Etienne Lawrence and Robert Paisley. Having passed Fecken, the Corolla team push hard to retain their A6 championship lead. Fighting for grip, Tjaart van der Walt and Cindy Harding in their Sasol dual-fuel Volkswagen Polo player have also passed their teammate and take the A7 lead. Fecken struggles on, his problem a broken drive shaft. Despite completing the stage, the team is forced to retire on Stage 3. John Jean-Pierre Damso and Graham Hooper are 5th quickest on the stage and lead class A6. On board with JP, and we get a first-hand view of the difficult driving conditions following the recent heavy rains. The team total Nissan Sentra of Hannes Krobler and navigator Wiley Harrington off to a good start. They were to have an off-road excursion ending their rally on stage 3. Divi Moreira and Dani Duval's first run with the new engine, and Divi's complaining of a lack of top-end power. It's been a torrid year for Barry Krobler and Mike Burrows, and it's not going to get any better, as they're plagued with a misfire throughout the event. Sassel dual-fuel Volkswagen Polo player teammates Tony Ball and navigator Gerard Snyman from Natal. Followed by the Eastern Capes, Keith Coleman and Uwe Koch in a similar car. Fernando Rueda with Pierre Arias in the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo let everyone know their intentions by posting the 4th fastest time for the stage. After a non-finish on the mountain trial, Dean Saunders fights to regain the Class N2 championship lead. Leading N2 by only 4 points, Visser Duplessis and Thilo van Westenhagen need to keep the pressure on Saunders, but get a little too enthusiastic, costing them valuable seconds. Local team and brother-in-laws, Nigel Dodgen and Patrick Johnson. Fresh from their N2 class victory in the previous event, Richard Bem and Grant Sinclair have a short outing when the gearbox of the Palbin Corolla RSI fails later in the stage. Join us for more Cape Rally action right after the break. Hard to close the gap and a 4th fastest in the stage. Just 1 second behind, Rueda and Aris. In second position overall, Damso and Hodgson are on a charge to pull back the leader and record a time of 6 minutes and 38 seconds. But Gemmell responds and equals Damso's time to hang on to that 15-second lead. On to stage 3, and Lawrence and Paisley are trailing their team total teammates Damso and Hooper by 16 seconds. Van der Walt and Harding are 4th fastest in the stage and 5th overall. Still pushing on, the Mitsubishi of Rueda and Aris record a time of 9 minutes and 18 seconds. Hubig and Judd, 9 minutes 11. And that time's equalled by the Castrol Toyota Corolla of Damso and Hodgson. But Gemmell's got the bit between his teeth and pulls out another 6 seconds to increase the Subaru's lead to 21 seconds. Back to Kalani for 2 Subaru Super Special stages. 2 cars compete on equal length circuits running the wrong way round. The 2 cars hit the main straight, one peeling off through the pit complex and subway, while the other runs through Vodacom Corner. Meeting again on the back straight, then negotiate the very fast Sabat sweep before rejoining the main straight, where they swap courses. First away, Hubig and Damso with the Toyota fighting for traction. On board with Hubig on his way to Vodacom. Having negotiated the pit complex, Damso starts his second lap as Hubig clears the subway to rejoin the circuit. The Castrol Toyota flies past with Hubig in hot pursuit. Heavy braking into Sabat, and Hubig uses the dirt to pull back precious time. The flying finish, and the 2 cars are separated by just 1 second. Huge excitement for the massive crowd, but there's lots more to come. On board with JP Damso, and he uses all the Corolla's power to stay ahead of his A6 rivals. A little too quick into Sabat, and the Toyota's tyre let go. spinning the car and costing the team valuable seconds. More action as Werner Kuckermoer hurls the Rally Extreme BMW through Sabat. Front wheel in the air and the power on, much appreciated by the crowd. In fact, that's worth another look. In any other sport, I think he'd win man of the match. Not quite what they had in mind as Peter Teague and Sean Seegers plant their A6 Polo into the tyres. Fortunately, he didn't have to retire. The leaderboard at the end of day one sees Gemmell now 22 seconds ahead of Damso, with Habig only 6 seconds back. Ruedo and Ariz a strong fourth, while the battle for 6 and 7s and A6 honours is only separated by 9 seconds. Kuckermoer and Frey round off the top 8 and lead S20. Kroll, Walter Fley, Oliphants-Dam, Barry's Way and then El Sana, the longest stage of the event. Cape Adds 2 and the final Subaru special stage at Killarney, 128 kilometres of special stage, 359 kilometres in total. The Subaru of Gemmell and Trollope are first on the road and find a very wet special stage 6 out to challenge them. On board the Subaru, and we see just how wet and slippery some sections are. Just remember, he's got all-wheel drive. As Killian Trollope points the way, all eyes are now on this man. 22 seconds behind is not to Damso's liking, and he blasts the Castrol Toyota Corolla through the 14.5 kilometre stage in a time of 7 minutes and 32 seconds, an incredible 21 seconds faster than Gemmell. The Sassel dual-fuel Volkswagen Golf of Habig and Judd are only 7 seconds behind Damso on the stage. Suddenly, the Subaru's lead is in jeopardy. The Mitsubishi Lancer of Ruedo and Ariz consolidate their 4th position. While Van der Walt and Harding are comfortably ahead of their nearest A7 rivals. But drama for the team total Toyota Corolla of Damso and Hooper. A whole piston puts them out and hands the A6 lead to Lawrence and Paisley. And they celebrate with a splash. And shower our cameraman with mud. Werner Kuckermoer and Cobus Frey are in a ding-dong battle with a similar car of Cliffy Blackman and Johan Claassen, with only 16 seconds separating the two BMWs. Another faultless performance by Rodney Fasaki and Carolyn Swan in the team total Toyota Conquest sees them take yet another Class A5 win at the end of the day. By special stage 8, Gemmell had taken back a second from Damso to have a 2-second lead. Stage 8 with a very popular 5-mile spectator point, and the Subaru team battle to stay ahead. But Damso's on a mission and brings the gap down to 1 second again. But has to use every inch of the road in these slippery conditions. Habig and Judd, now only 13 seconds behind the leaders, pull out all the stops to make up time. But lack of traction cost them nearly 6 seconds. We join them as they negotiate the very tight farmyard, Yanni making extensive use of the handbrake. Fernando Rueda decides to remove some of the tape as he fights the understeering Mitsubishi through the stage. Sharp Van der Walt flies into the farmyard but carries too much speed for the left-hander, ending up facing the wrong way and losing more time. The Castrol Toyota Corolla RSI of Charles Wilkin and Robin Houghton. Only a week ago, that Corolla was a Group N track car. But the rapid conversion pays dividends, with Wilkin taking 10th overall and 2nd in A6. The Sasol dual fuel Nissan Sentra of Jeff Mortimer and Jerry Herricker go on to win Class N3. Second spot in N3 goes to Spotty Woodhead and Kevin Clark. And a welcome return to Mike and Rozenka Weingart, who take third spot in N3 with their Rees Delta Opel Kadett. Martinez Breers takes it more cautiously, determined to hold on to his N1 lead and keep the car right way up, after rolling the car on the two previous events. Chasing Breers are Michael Houghton and Bryn Doherty in the Toy Toy Spares Toyota Taz, who will finish second in N1. Cars in Action's Michele Lupini and Steve Frobler lead the Castrol Toyota Media Challenge and are third in N3. Followed home by top cars Colin Malman and Alec Harris. We take a look at the leaderboard after Special Stage 8. Gemmell leads by 1 second from Damso, with Jannie Habig a further 9 seconds back. Fifth and sixth gets interesting with only 1 second separating Van der Walt and Lawrence. And there's only 4 seconds between Kukamura and Blackman in 7th and 8th in those BMs in their own private battle. Join us for more rally action right after the break. With Gemmell and Trollope, the Subaru team made a good tyre choice on Special Stage 9 and have now opened the lead to 13 seconds. The Class N4 Subaru Impreza WRX is putting in some excellent times, and that's with this standard road car having to run a 32mm restrictor on a 60mm inlet. A thumbs up from Trollope as they complete the stage. Back at the start of the stage, and Damso waits his chance to pull back time from the Subaru, but despite being second fast in the stage, he loses another 20 seconds to the Impreza team. Meanwhile, Jannie Habig explains to Etienne Lawrence how you go straight through a fence when you're flat out in 6th gear. But no problems in Special Stage 10 as the Sasol dual-fuel Volkswagen Golf puts up the third fastest time. Ueda looking relaxed with the Mitsubishi running well. Their problems in the mountain troll having been traced to altitude. The computer's sensing a leaner mixture due to the rarefied air and going into a fail-safe mode. A solid 5th position and Class A7 lead for Charles van der Walt and Cindy Harding in the Sasol dual-fuel Polo Player as they start Stage 10. Followed by Lawrence and Paisley leading A6 and in 6th overall. Gemmell powers his way through the water in Special Stage 11, holding a 33-second lead, but now facing the biggest threat, a long, fast 28-kilometre stage and the chance for the chasing Toyota to make up time. Damso and Hodgson give their all, but only manage to make up 5 seconds, and with only 18 kilometres of Special Stage, they face a daunting challenge. Habig and Judd enter the stage in 3rd position, but water gets into the electrics and the pair lose 15 minutes, moving down to 9th place. No problems for Riedo and Aris, as with the Volkswagen Cruise problems, they find themselves in 3rd position. Van der Walt and Harding move into 4th, but soon have problems of their own when they can only use 5th and 6th gear for half the stage, costing them over a minute. The service point before Special Stage 12 and some frantic work by the Sasol dual-fuel Volkswagen Polo Player team sees the gearbox changed in 20 minutes and Van der Walt back in the hunt. Lawrence and Paisley now move into 4th position with the Team Total Corolla. With Table Mountain as a backdrop, the Subaru team look relaxed, poised on the brink of their first possible victory. But there's no relaxing on stage 12 as Johnny pushes the Subaru to the limit. A speed trap organised by the local traffic authorities record Gemel's speed at 148 kilometres an hour. Damso and Hodgson are not giving up and use everything the Corolla can give, recording the fastest speed at 162 kilometres an hour. Next fastest, Habig and Judd at 145. And the Lancer Evo recording 140 with Rueda sensing that podium position. Van der Vault and Harding chase hard to regain that 4th spot and equal Habig's speed at 149 k's an hour. The man holding that 4th spot, Etienne Lawrence, is not prepared to relinquish it and equals Van der Vault's time through the stage. The final stage at Killarney and Gemel is away first, still holding a 23-second lead and only 6.7 kilometres to go. 1 minute behind the Castrol Toyota Corolla as Gemel completes his first lap. Damso on his second lap chases the Subaru and overtakes him as they go down into Vodacom. But coming into the main straight, the Toyota slides wide, allowing Gemel through. The Sasol dual-fuel Volkswagen Golf and Habig and Judd now fill the Toyota's rear-view mirrors as Gemel finishes the stage. Van der Vault and Harding into the stage as Rueda flies past into Sabat. Damso and Hodgson stop at the final control. That off, having cost them another 2 seconds. Van der Vault chases Rueda as Blackman's BMW leaves the line. His main BMW rival, Werner Kuckemoor, having gone out in the previous stage with a broken drive shaft. It's got to be an awful long time since anyone's seen a traffic jam on a rally stage. So a fine victory for Gemel and Trollope, 35 seconds ahead of Damso and Hodgson. Behind them in 3rd position, their first podium for Rueda and Aries in a Mitsubishi Lancer. Lawrence hanging on to 4th, Van der Vault 5th, and Duplessis his best ever in 8th position.
With it,